Jai Bhagwan, and welcome to our next in our Introduction to Meditation and Motion Yoga class series. So we've been exploring meditation and motion. And what does that exactly mean? Well, meditation means that we're so deeply relaxed that we're connected to our innate inner peace and harmony and balance. And there's a felt sense of being harmonious and peaceful. But then we have in motion. So it's not just a seated meditation, it's in motion on the mat and in our lives. So with the motion part, we're exploring following the innate inner energetic intelligence in our body that is designed to restore balance physically, mentally, emotionally, and for spiritual realization. So it's a meditation in motion in the sense that we're connecting to that innate energetic intelligence within us to help guide the movements while remaining deeply, deeply relaxed. And we can do this in our everyday life, and to a certain degree we see athletes do it, right? When they're so in the zone of whatever it is sport that they're engaging in, they just connect to the present moment and then they move. Well, that's how we can live our whole life. It doesn't just have to be under certain circumstances. It can be all the time. So in today's practice, we're going to be exploring the tool of micro movements to help us further understand energy and how it moves in the body. And we've already been looking and exploring with micro movements. It's that movement that we've been making back and forth about 1/8 of an inch in our hands over that energetic edge that we're feeling between the palms of the hands. And that's a very subtle energy, right? Now on the mat, we're going to be exploring feeling more dense energies in the body. So whether in the midst of a movement or in the holding of a pose, I'm going to invite you to find the area of strongest sensation and line right up against it, but at your edge where you can remain relaxed. And then just breathe into that strong sensation. That's densified, trapped energy in the body. And then from there, I'm going to invite you to make micro movements right over that densification, that greater intensity of felt sensations in the body. And as you make those micro movements, you're inviting a release of that energy so that trapped energy can return to its source of inner balance and harmony. And then simply it's a matter of following that energy back to its source of harmony and balance, which may prompt other movements or it may prompt being still. So I'll take you through this today. To begin with, just simply sit up nice and tall. Close the eyes to reduce the amount of sensory data coming in through vision. Take a few steady, full breaths in and out. And with your next inhaling breath, draw the breath to the very bottom of the lungs and fill the lungs completely from the bottom to the top, feeling the natural rise of expansion in the torso help to lengthen the spine. And on the next exhaling breath, just relax through the neck and shoulders, the chest, abdomen, and hips. And let these initial breaths facilitate you coming more fully into your body, but in a very relaxed, peaceful way. Steady, full breaths in and out through the nose. We've been beginning our practice with chanting the sound of Om and reciting the Asatoma mantra in English. Today I'm going to bring a little sound vibration from the ancient language of Sanskrit in and chant the Asatoma mantra in Sanskrit. So just feeling those vibrations. And if you're familiar with the words, feeling free to join in. Recognizing this isn't about how the voice sounds, but connecting to the felt vibratory reverberation, that energetic presence within. And gently and slowly feeling all along the way, guide the left palm to the heart center. And the right palm slowly and attentively over the left, or bringing the hands into prayer position, whatever feels appropriate. And we'll begin with the sound of Om, taking in a full and steady breath. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyoti Gamaya Mrichorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Observing as sound fades into silence. May this practice of meditation and motion lead me from the unreal to the real. Right here, right now. Lead me from darkness to light. a light which sees both darkness and light in the same light. Lead me from time-bound consciousness to the timeless state of being that I am. Hari Om, peace, peace, peace. And if there's any tension in the shoulders, just recognize that you are holding the arms up a little bit past the edge. So now feel that release as you lower the hands down. Meditation in motion. And slowly transition the body into a comfortable seated position for the bowing breath. Whether that be seated on the heels, cross-legged, legs extended out in front of you, or even seated in a chair. Sit comfortably, yet tall. Eyes are closed, increasing the depth of each inhalation and each exhalation through the nose. Feel the rise of expansion on the next inhaling breath as you breathe deeply to the bottom of the lungs. And as the breath rises up, lift the chest, lift the chin, lean back slightly. And as you exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward and down, supporting yourself with the hands in whatever way is needed. And simply folding forward and down until everything naturally stops. And with the next inhaling breath, let that breath help lift the body back up. Lifting chest, lifting chin, leaning back. And then exhaling at your own pace, folding forward and down. And continue with this breath and moving meditation at your own pace. And use this opportunity to merge into the movement so fully that it's as if the breath is breathing you. The energy is moving you. Feel that attunement of harmony and peace with the present moment. And it doesn't matter how far forward the body comes. Just let everything naturally come to its natural edge. And then let the next inhaling breath prompt the rising up, the lifting, the expanding, the opening. Continuing, following your natural, innate, energetic presence prompting movement and breath. Next time you inhale to the upright position, just remain seated upright, allowing the breath to naturally flow, eyes closed, relaxing into that expansive field of the third eye. Slowly turning the palms to face up on the knees or thighs. Shoulders relaxed, spine extended. Beginning to increase the depth of inhalations, the length of exhalations. Feeling that fresh prana energy being drawn into the body on each inhalation. And actually imagining, visualizing that you can draw that breath right into the center of the chest. And as you exhale slowly and steadily, exhaling out through the center of the chest. Breathing in through the center of the chest. Breathing out through the center of the chest. Feeling an increase of sensations at the center of the chest. And the soft sound of your own breath is a natural lullaby, helping you to relax even more fully. And as you draw your next breath in through the center of the chest, imagine splitting the breath in two, letting it stream down both arms, exhaling through the palm of each hand. So now the breathing visualization is inhaling through the center of the chest, feeling the breath, the sensations, the energy stream down the arms into the palms of the hands, exhaling through the palms of the hands. Staying connected to the felt sensations, the movement of energy in chest, arms, and palms. And with your next exhalation through the palms of the hands, then visualize breathing in to the palms of the hands, so that now you're visualizing breathing in and out to the palms of the hands. All of the attention resting, palms of the hands. And slowly, almost imperceptibly slowly, begin to lift the hands up off the knees or thighs. And in that same slow movement, turn the palms to face towards each other as you continue to breathe in and out the palms of the hands. And without allowing the hands to touch, Begin to press the palms towards each other until you feel a slight energetic pressure between the palms. Begin to make that 1/8 of an inch back and forth movement over this energetic edge, felt between the palms as you continue to breathe in and out through the palms of the hands. And see if you can feel this energy not just on the palms of the hands, but also on the backs of the hands, as if you were wearing energy mittens, still pulsing the hands back and forth, feeling that energetic field in front of and behind the hands. And then very slowly release the hands back down to the legs. Noticing a mind at rest, absorbed by sensation. Soft, steady flow of breath. Let this inner attunement be your touchstone for maintaining meditation while in motion through our practice. Coming to a position seated on the floor, bending the knees, placing the soles of the feet on the floor in front of you, wider than hip width apart, and placing the hands behind you on the floor to support you. Press into the hands, lift the chest, lift the chin, just lean back a little bit and breathe into this opening. Take a few full, steady breaths here. You don't have to bring the head back far, just lift the chin as far as is comfortable for you. Most importantly, press into the hands, lift the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Full, steady breaths in and out. Now bring the head back in line with the spine, relax the shoulders. Inhale, and as you exhale, slowly allow the knees to drop over to the right, in the direction of the floor as far as they'll go. Inhaling, lifting the knees back up to center. And exhaling, dropping the knees over to the left. Inhaling back up to center. And continue back and forth at your own pace. Staying in touch with the felt sensations in the body. And then the next time the knees flap over to the right, just let them remain at the right and bring the sole of the right foot to the outside of the left thigh, so that the foot is not underneath the thigh or the knee, but resting up against it. And then begin to walk your hands forward, supporting yourself with your right hand on the floor next to you. Just take a few breaths right here into this stretch as it shows up. Give your attention to your left foot and make sure that the ankle isn't at a weird torque. You can Turn the back of the foot to face up towards the ceiling slightly so that it feels more comfortable. And as you come to position here, place your left hand on your left hip. Inhale, extend up through the crown of the head. Exhale, relax the hip down towards the floor. As you inhale this time, press the left hip forward. And as you exhale, relax the hip back down. And continue moving back and forth at your own pace. This is a micro movement in the body. Back and forth just a little bit, feeling that hip begin to open and warm up. And then the next time the hip rests down towards the floor, place that left hand on the outside of the right knee, so that your hands are on either side of the right knee. And we'll go into dolphin pose. So as you inhale, lift the chest, lift the chin. And as you exhale, tuck the chin to the chest and dive the head down towards the knee as if you were a dolphin diving into the ocean. Then as you exhale, inhale, press the chest forward, lift the head up, rise back out of the ocean. Exhale, diving back down. And continue at your own pace. Just feeling the sensations that are opening in the body. Remembering to always practice at the edge. Steady, full breaths. Next time you find the body in the upright position, just stay in the upright position. And bring that left hand behind you. Stretch out through the fingertips. Even look at those fingertips. Breathe in and breathe out into this stretch. Breathe in, and this time as you exhale, cross the arms forward and then in front of the body as far as it will go, over to the right, gazing at the fingertips. Inhale, opening the arm back out, twisting back as far as the body will go. And then exhaling the arm forward. And again, over to the right. And continue at your own pace. And next time you're looking out over to your right and you're twisted to the right, just hang out here for a minute. Press into the right hand. Lift up through the crown of the head, and if it's possible, lift the hips up off the floor and press them forward. And if it's not a problem. Extend the left arm alongside the ear and reach into that opening as deep as it will come. If you're still seated on the floor, not a problem. Just keep reaching up, up, up through the fingertips. Pressing into the right hand. And then exhaling, coming back down, resting the hips on the floor, lowering the arm down to the floor behind you, bringing the knees back up to center. Repositioning the body, taking a full breath in, and as you exhale, let the knees flop over to the left now. Tucking the right foot back slightly, placing the left foot the front of the right thigh. And then using the left hand on the floor for support, just sit right here, take a few breaths in and out. Placing the right hand on the right hip. Deep breaths. Come into a steady position right here. Breathing in and out steadily and smoothly, begin to press the right hip forward and then back. Making those micro movements right over that edge of greater density in the hip. Going at your own pace with the breath. And then the next time you find the hip on the mat, release the right hand from the hip and place it to the outside of the left knee so that both hands are on either side of the knee. And we'll move into our dolphin pose again. Breathe in, lift up through the chest, lift up through the head. Exhale, lower the chin down towards the chest, dive down towards the knee, hinging from the hips. Press into the palms, inhale, lift the head forward and up, extending up through the chest. And continue at your own pace. Steady breaths, keeping the hands anchored on the floor, and when you rise up, really feel yourself press down into the ground and lift the chest, lift the head up. And then the next time you find the body in the upright position, remain in the upright position. Extend the right arm behind you. Gaze at the fingertips. Breathe in, and as you exhale, cross the arm forward in front of the body, over to the left, as far as it will go, gazing at the fingertips. Inhaling, bringing the arm back in front of you, and then behind you as far as it will go. And exhaling, twisting to the opposite side, continuing at your own pace. Just breathing, feeling the movements. Perhaps in the midst of this, the shoulder wants to circle a little bit to help release tension or tightness there. Go with that. You can pause and follow those promptings of energy at any time you actually tune in and feel them. That's what this is all about. And then next time you find that right arm over to the left in front of you, press into the left palm, lift the chest, breathe into this extension, and if it's available, press into the hand and lift the hips forward and up. Bringing the right arm alongside the ear. Full, steady breaths into the stretch wherever it's showing up in the body. Whether the hips are on the ground or lifted up, really reach into it. And then make some slight micro movements in that right shoulder, maybe forward and back or up and down. With an exhaling breath, releasing the hips, releasing the arm, and then bringing the knees back up to center, stretching the legs out in front of you, and just pausing for a moment here, closing the eyes, tuning into all of the sensations the released energy felt in the body from these opening movements. Just breathe and feel. And then focus at the center of the forehead between the eyebrows, allowing all of the energies that have been released to move into integration, balance, harmony. And then gently opening up the eyes. If you notice any discomfort in the lower back or in the knees, just seated on the ground on the sits bones, and I suggest either taking a blanket and folding it like this, or for more height, taking a cushion or a pillow, and then sliding your sits bones onto the edge of this blanket or cushion, and then stretching the legs out. That will take some strain off the back. And as you get there, just sit up nice and tall. Breathe fully in and out. And then begin to bend your knees and bring both hips towards, both feet towards your right hip. So both knees are bent, feet are towards the right hip. And draw that left foot as close to the right hip as you comfortably can. If both of your sits bones are no longer on the floor, then you're going to need to take a blanket or a cushion and sit on it so that both sits bones are sitting on the cushion or the blanket. Now place your right foot on the floor in front of you. And you may begin to feel a stretch right here. And if that's the case, you can stay right here in this position. Breathe deeply. But to go a little bit deeper, if that's accessible in your body, take hold of the right ankle with the left hand and cross the foot to the outside of the left knee. And then perhaps pause here and breathe and feel this. And then to go even deeper, begin to bring the right foot towards the left hip, stacking the knees on top of each other. This would be our final stage of our hero pose. From here, just place the hands on the floor or wherever you're at. Just place the hands on the floor if that's available to you. Press into the sits bones, press into the hands, lift up through the crown of the head. Breathe and feel. And on the exhaling breaths, let the hips soften and relax. If the body is being prompted to go even deeper into sensation, inhale, extend up through the crown of the head. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward and down, and using the hands to support you in whatever way is needed. Again, if your knees are not crossed and your foot is on the floor, then just stay in the upright position. It's not a problem. Don't make it a problem. This is meditation in motion. So be relaxed. Come into a steady position at the edge where you can relax with the felt sensations in the body. And then begin to make those small micro movements, right over that area of strongest sensation. So just let your attention go to that strong sensation like an arrow drawn to a target, and then make some slight micro movements back and forth or up and down right over that strong sensation. And just breathe right into the center of that target. Feel making those micro movements, and see if those micro movements prompt any additional movements to help release and restore balance in the body. And if that means coming out of the pose, then follow that innate intelligence of the body and come out. And if another position shows up, go with that. If relaxing even more deeply into the pose comes up, go with that. Just breathe, feel, and observe, following that natural intelligence into movement or stillness. As the body is ready to come out of the pose, if you have the knees stacked on top of each other, just rise back up to seated. Bring the hands on the floor behind you, lean back, and then stretch the legs out one at a time. And again, just tune in and see if there's any additional movements the body wants to make in order to restore balance. To come into the opposite side, place the hands on the floor for the support, bend both knees, and bring both feet to the outside of the left hip. Bringing the right foot as close to the left hip as you can, and then placing the left foot on the floor in front of you. And again, this may be it. To go deeper, however, you can take hold of the ankle with the right hand and bring the foot to the outside of the knee. And then draw that left ankle to go deeper, as close to the right hip as you comfortably can. Maybe you need to adjust the body a little bit to get those knees stacked up on top of each other. Placing the hands on the floor or on the soles of the feet, or wherever it is appropriate, so that you can sit tall, pressing down into the sits bones. Inhale, extending up through the crown of the head, feeling that length in the torso. Breathing deeply. And if the body wants to go even deeper, press into the floor or the feet. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward and down until the body naturally stops, using the hands to support you as needed. So meet yourself wherever the body is showing up in the pose right now, with an openness and an acceptance of what you're feeling and where the body is at. Release resistance. Breathe and relax. As you find that edge, come into a steady position right over that edge. Breathe into the area of strongest sensation. And then begin to make those micro movements, a little bit back and forth over that area of strongest sensation in the body. You can move back and forth, left or right, even up and down, Just see what feels appropriate to help move into that edge and relax that density in the body so that it can open and release perhaps just a little bit more without struggle or strain. And perhaps those released energies prompt you to move into stillness and just continue to feel. Perhaps those energies are prompting additional larger movements or even a transition into another posture. Go with what you're feeling, unrestricted by what the mind thinks is right or wrong. Just follow that innate intelligence. That innate intelligence that restores the body when it's sick. Can restore balance right now on the mat. Learning to listen to that intelligence so that you can be in balance in every aspect of your life. A meditation in motion. When you feel a sense of readiness to release from the pose, if you're forward, just rise back up. Bring the hands on the floor behind you, lean back slightly, and then stretch the legs out in front of you again. And then right here, see if there's any movements that the body wants to make to continue to facilitate restoration, harmony, and balance, and just follow those promptings without hesitation. There's no right or wrong, and because this is not a one-size-fits-all system, what happens for you may be different than what happens for me or anyone else. So just tune in and feel how the body wants to respond and restore even more balance and harmony after holding in hero pose for an extended period of time. And perhaps what shows up is a wide-legged forward fold, separating the feet away from each other to about 70% of your capacity. Sitting tall, sits bones pressing down, extending up through the crown of the head. Feeling that, and then simply seeing if folding forward feels right, or leaning to the right, and then the left feels right. Again, just follow your body's innate intelligence, knowing you can't do anything wrong. You're just tuning in, feeling, following. Attention following energy. Closing the eyes if that's available and they're not already, so that you can tune into sensation as opposed to sight, feeling. And if you feel lost or you don't quite know what to do, then simply scan the body for the area of strongest sensation. Let your attention be drawn there like an arrow to a target, and just lean right up against that strong sensation. Get snugly right up against it, at the edge, not past the edge. Breathe, coming into a steady position. And then make those micro movements. A little bit back and forth, forward and back. And then see if those micro movements promote a macro movement, a larger movement in the body. Or perhaps there's a prompting to simply be still and then go with that. This is your time to explore feeling and connecting to that energetic intelligence within you. And as you feel these energies begin to subside, then simply bring the body back into a comfortable seated position. Take your time, there's no rush to get anywhere. And let the movements be still so that you can feel all along the way. The movements be slow so that you can feel all along the way. As you come into stillness eventually. And as you find the body in a comfortable seated position, using any props needed or even a chair, we're going to move into our quantum breath technique, using the alternate nostril breath, also known as Nadi Shodhana. In the alternate nostril breath, we simply breathe alternately through each nostril. For today's practice, we're going to simply visualize breathing through each nostril alternately. And in tomorrow's practice, we'll actually close the nostrils off. So just bring the hands into a comfortable position on the body. Relax the shoulders. Sitting up tall. Close the eyes if they're not already. Begin to take steady, full breaths in and out. So that on that inhaling breath, you're drawing the breath down to the bottom of the lungs, filling the lungs completely from the bottom to the top, and on the exhale, emptying completely from the top back down to the bottom. And with your next inhaling breath, just visualize that you're drawing the breath in through the left nostril. The breath is being drawn up to the center of the forehead between the eyebrows at the third eye. Pause there, and as you exhale, visualize breathing from the third eye down and out through the right nostril. Slow and steady exhalation. Inhaling, visualizing breathing in through the right nostril, up to the third eye, pausing, and then exhaling, visualizing breathing out through the left nostril, fully and completely. Inhaling, visualizing breathing in through the left nostril, up to the third eye, pause, and then exhale out through the right nostril. Long, steady breath. Inhaling right nostril up to the third eye, pausing. Exhale left nostril, slow and steady. And on your next inhalation through the left nostril, continue at your own breathing pattern. Just visualizing the breath traveling in and out through each nostril alternately. Really feeling the breath passing through each nasal passage. And relaxing more deeply into that pause in between each inhaling breath, so that the following exhaling breath comes from a place of stillness, openness, and peace. Next time you find yourself at the third eye, just release the breathing technique and allow meditation to happen. Returning to the technique if the mental activity increases. Because we are learning how to incorporate meditation into motion, into our everyday lives, just remain relaxed as you receive the following words and contemplations, practicing your capacity to remain in meditation even while engaged in mental activity. Just contemplate the following while remaining relaxed and at peace. During the Kriya of Chitta and Prana at the beginning of the practice, could you feel the energy between the palms? And even on the back sides of the hands. Do you understand that that's a much subtler form of energy than it is a physical, energetic densification in the body that you feel as a tightness or a restriction in the pose? That this physical densification or restriction or tightness that you feel in the pose is simply a densified form of that same subtle energy you felt between the palms and perhaps on the back of the palms. And that by approaching these densified energies with openness, without force, from a place of relaxation, we invite those densified energies to open and release so they become more subtle. And then the practice is feeling our ability to follow that energy and whatever promptings it prompts in the body to restore balance and harmony. And as we do this on the mat, then to follow those energetic promptings in our everyday life. This is meditation in motion. And we'll complete our practice with the sound of Om, slowly bringing the hands either into prayer position or hand over hand at the heart. Taking a deep breath in for the sound of Om. May your life come from peace and harmony, benefiting from this practice so that you can live your life as a meditation in motion. And as you live life as a meditation in motion, offering those same gifts to others simply by being what you've been doing it for. And gently opening up the eyes. And Jai Bhagwan. And we'll see you next time.